Oh, hello. All right, welcome back to another episode of Tech Talk with Suits, and I'm your host, Suits. I love technology. I love learning about technology. I love sharing technology. I love teaching people about technology. Sharing funny tech support stories, learning tech support stories, they're always fun. Some of the things that I love also to do is to go through and find when technology or gadgets are made, some of them that are so innovative and mind-blowing that you're like, yes, this is gonna make my life rock. It's gonna be so amazing. It's gonna be so helpful. Yes. And then there are some tech gadgets that you hear about and you're like, why? That are so just weird. They blow your mind in a different direction of, seriously, is that really gonna be used? And why would anybody care? So, today, we're gonna talk about strange tech devices and which one's fake. So I've got a list of tech devices here, or technology that is being made or is being used currently, and I want you to figure out which one is a lie. Starting off, ear arm. A scientist grew an ear in a lab. Yes, a human ear in a lab. And before you say, scientists are trying to do that all the time. They're always making new arms, new legs, new hearts, new organs, whatever, for the people that don't have them or for scientific purposes, which you're correct. But this particular one, he made it so that he could put it into his forearm. And the reason for this is because, so this scientist made a human ear from real human cells and had it implanted into his forearm along with a small microphone. The entire point of this was so that if he was somewhere and it was able to pick up noises, he could then make this an internet organ and transmit those sounds via the internet for anybody and everyone to hear. Now, before you think, why not just have a microphone? I guess he wanted to see how this would work out because he enjoys doing this kind of thing with all sorts of other things, and it was probably just a test to see how it would work. I don't know about you, but there's a lot of places and things that I wouldn't want being picked up on, so I'm hoping that there's an off switch for him, because if I'm in the bathroom, I obviously don't want those sounds being transmitted onto the web, or other such noises being made in other rooms of the house. And some of that would just be, can you imagine driving along and you're cursing at the drivers around you and realizing that everybody can hear that? That'd be really weird. All right, number 2, dog pee. So a company made signs or small billboards that were electronic. These signs emit a pheromone for puppies or dogs. Their entire point is they want the dogs to come over and entice them to pee on said sign or billboard. The sign will then soak up the urine and analyze it for the dog owner and display it on the screen. Their entire point is they wanted to be able to save dog owners on their vet bills. So let's say the dog pees on the sign, it absorbs it, analyzes it, and says, hey, your dog is just low on this nutrients, or on these nutrients. Now it can suggest a dog food or a dog brand and say, hey, this is the kind of dog food that you should be giving your dog because it's gonna help out with these levels. Because your dog seems to be lacking in this vitamin, and this dog food, this kind will help it. Or it might come up and display, no, you really need to take your dog to a vet because your dog is messed up. So it's meant to lower the vet bills as well as get people to buy dog food. We'll see if it works. Coffee drone. Imagine being in your office, being that worker, sitting behind the desk. You're tired, you're grumpy, and you need caffeine, but you can't leave your desk. What do? No, you don't ask another coworker to get it for you. No, you don't take a quick break and get it. No, you don't show up to work early enough to get a cup of coffee. You simply look at the drone flying overhead and you wave to it. And it comes over and on a line, puts out a cup of coffee, which you take out, and then you gladly sip said coffee and get that little caffeine buzz that you've been needing. Alternatively, the drone is supposed to be able to read your cognitive state, and be able to interpret that person needs caffeine. that person's going to be grumpy. Imagine having a cognitive state or a little sign that just popped up and said, caffeine needed. I figured that's when people get grumpy and yell at you. That means caffeine is needed. So these drones are meant to come over, drop them down. I'm really kind of wondering why. Like, how do you make sure nobody's stealing the coffee? Or what happens if you go to wave to a colleague and the drone flies over to you and you're like, no, 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 no. Or you're just pissed that day and the drone flies over and tries giving you coffee and you're like, really? Kind of the same thing as a guy trying to give Midol to a woman. To me, it doesn't sound like it would work very well. All right, next one, mood ring. Do you guys remember years ago when they were really popular, probably in the late 80s, early 90s, when you had the mood rings that would show up with the different colors? Blue if you were sad, red if you were mad. I'm making up emotions at this point because I don't remember what colors they were. But these mood rings have sensors built in. Now, these built-in sensors are meant to listen to your pulse, so your heart rate, your body temperature, and your tenseness, as well as a few other things. They are made of titanium, they are water resistant, and they are meant to predict your mood. They are able to connect via Bluetooth to your phone, so that way you can see on your phone and it can register everything and you're like, oh, great to know. And it also comes in 5 colors. My personal favorite, I'm gonna call this one the silence collar. It's a device, it's a collar that fits around your neck, and it can also, when you need to, fit around, and it locks around your mouth. And the entire point about it is it's meant to intercept your voice while you're talking. Now, it's going to connect via Bluetooth to your cell phone, and it also has little wired earbuds that go into your ears so you can hear what's being said on the call. But when you go to talk, it intercepts it. So maybe if you're in a grocery store and you're on a really important business call, or you have to talk to your doctor about that burning sensation, you can simply put the collar up, lock it around your mouth, and now you can let them know all about the issues that you've been having, or give them your social security number, or your bank account information, whatever, and not worry about anybody eavesdropping. Or maybe it's a different kind of conversation with a loved one and you don't want anybody hearing. But it locks around the mouth, and it's meant to even work from 3 feet away. So even if you're 3 feet away, all you're hearing is muffled. Sounds like a really good gag gift for somebody who has a loved one or somebody else that just won't shut up. You're like, here's a collar. Wear it all the time. All the time. I mean, it could work. So, which one do you think is fake? I'll give you a moment. You can even pause the video or listen to me sing a tune. Do 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 do, and you get these quality dance moves. Do do do. All right, enough subjecting you to that. Which one do you think is fake? Do you think it's ear arm? Do you think it's dog pee? Coffee drone? The mood ring? Or the silence collar? If you said mood ring, you would be correct. So, going back through some of these, the mood ring. Technically, the ring is real. I just changed around the description a little bit. It's actually made by Oura, O-U-R-A. The entire point is it does capture your pulse, your body temperature, not tenseness, all those different things. It's basically like a Fitbit or whatever other little wearable devices you have to detect how you're doing, and connects it that way. So it's meant for fitness and things like that. Ear arm. As weird as that sounds, it was made by Stelarc, S-T-E-L-A-R-C, and you can go Google it, or you can look it up on his site, stelarc.org. He does this with a lot of different things, with prosthetics, with arms, with the ears, and it is still ongoing. And I will include a picture of this in just a moment, about here. He had the arm vacuum sealed as well, so that way you could see the outline of the ear, which is even creepier to me, but whatever. The dog pee was actually Purina, so the Purina puppy chow, and they did it with billboards in France to tell you and entice you to buy their puppy chow, which makes total sense now, right? The coffee drone is a patent held by IBM. Now, in fairness, Most of the time companies will file patents, especially when they have a lot of money. Doesn't mean that they're going to use them. So I don't see this coffee drone actually being a thing, at least not anytime soon. But they did file the patent for it, so it is the thing. The Silence Color is actually known as the Hushme. It is a startup company. I get the idea, but my biggest piece of advice is when you put a product out there, don't tell people it locks around the mouth. Just sounds terrible. But yes, it is a real product. You're able to put it up and around your mouth and intercept your private calls to your phone so nobody else around you can hear them. It is bulky looking. And I still say it would make a good gag gift if it didn't run for almost $300. But I think it's a startup still, so, but yeah. I can imagine somebody getting me a Hushme just to shut me up. You know who you are. My entire family. But those are the fun tech inventions. Some of them made me go, wait, what? I had to research them more. Some of them went, okay, I kind of get that. That makes some sense. Maybe. And some of them just have terrible marketing to them. Because why? If you've got any lovely tech inventions that you want to share or want me to share and shout out, if you have any tech stories that you want to share, if you have any thoughts or you want to know about anything in the tech world, maybe you'd like me to explain something to you because you're having a hard time with it, or you just want me to share with other people, let me know. Make sure to drop it in the comments below. Like, subscribe, make sure to hit the little notification because otherwise YouTube doesn't always tell you when the new video is coming out. So, have a wonderful day, and this is Suits signing off.